At Oracle, we've seen a really significant shift in the marketplace when we look at how buyers buy and how organizations need to engage those buyers. The birth of the internet changed a lot, changed the way in which myself as a humble individual, I would go about researching, understanding, thinking about, considering, and maybe even going ahead and buying a product or a service. In the old days, those activities might have taken place face-to-face with a sales representative from an organization. Now I can do it online. It's fantastic, which creates an amazing opportunity for the marketing department because they can very easily and quickly publish great information on there. They can create websites, they can create blogs, they can use social media, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, to put lots of information out there for prospective customers to find out all about them. The challenge is that their sales guys have been held back. They're no longer speaking to the sales side of the organization, which makes the sales guys feel very paranoid, and it challenges the business as to, well, how do we understand how to drive sales if we only get to speak to the prospects or the customers when they're ready to buy? We haven't influenced their decision. So at Oracle, what we saw was an opportunity to help marketing be better at engaging those prospects when they were doing that research. And to answer your question, our strategy is to offer marketing the tools, the capabilities to be able to quickly and easily deploy marketing activities that feed back into a strategy of understanding a buyer and helping them through a buyer's process, which is a really powerful concept. I think for a lot of organizations, the cloud is the place where marketing needs to sit. It gives you agility, it gives you the ability to connect online in a very rich and dynamic way because you're very close to the data if you're sitting in the cloud. Marketers can create really interesting journeys where somebody maybe, you send them a very personalized email. There's an offer in the email. I click on it. I come through to a landing page that carries on that personalization. I maybe take a few steps through that journey, and through that process, our marketing technology is building up a profile of your behavior, trying to work out, how interested you are, and in real time it can react to that. So maybe you drop out of the process there, and the marketing technology, because the marketing department have thought about the journey, have an automated next step put in place. And the cloud is a great place for that to happen. It not only delivers the benefit of lower cost of ownership, but it also makes it a lot easier for marketers to deploy these rich digital marketing activities, which is quite difficult to do if you're trying to do it on your own premise in your enterprise. You have all kinds of technology challenges and infrastructural challenges that you need to make very fluid. The cloud is a good place for marketing, let alone thinking about, I've just talked about websites, there's advertising, there's social media, there are more and more of the ecosystem of the marketing department is sitting in the cloud. So the marketing department's own tools also need to sit in the cloud so that they can integrate nicely with them. Yeah, there's been a lot of research published around the changing role, particularly if I look at the CMO and the CIO. Traditionally, the CIO would make decisions relating to technology, and the CMO would make decisions relating to brand. The CMO's role is changing now, becoming much more customer-centric. The CMO is owning not just awareness, which would be brand, but they're getting now deeper and deeper and deeper into the customer relationship. They're owning the full customer cycle in many instances, and some of the more forward-thinking companies are saying, well, it's all about customer experience, and the CMO should be at the heart of that. So the technology that supports the CMO in delivering that rich experience is very important. So I think the changes that we see and that we predict moving forward is that the CMO and the CIO are going to be working far more collaboratively than they ever have before. The CIO needs to have a much better understanding of what the CMO is trying to do with customer experience and customer journey, and the CMO needs to become more adept at understanding the technology landscape. And I think there's a great opportunity for the CIO to help the CMO there, to be an enabler, and to guide them through some of the technology decisions that CMOs haven't traditionally made. And I think the word collaboration is key here, because that's where we're seeing organizations. If I take a step back and look to other parts of the world where this has happened, it's not happening, it's already happened. The whole of the C-level has collaborated in the transformation. Sales and marketing have got together. The traditionally has been maybe a little bit of fighting between sales and marketing. The modern companies, modern organizations, those sales and marketing departments and functions align themselves really tightly, because sales understand that they need marketing's help, and marketing understand that they've got to better understand what it is that sales want. And I think it's the same spirit of collaboration that we're starting to see in India, and that we've seen in other markets that are a little bit ahead in terms of adoption and transformation, where the CMO and the CIO are working together in this collaborative spirit to get the best of both worlds. The CMO has to drive the strategy for customer engagement, and the CIO has to help the CMO understand, for starters, how can they work with the legacy investments they already have. This isn't about throwing away a whole load of technology that the business has been very carefully building up over a while. It's about working out how those technologies, and often the data that resides around those customers, can be used more effectively, and the marketing department can harness that data. So I think that there are a lot of very important collaboration points that the CIO and the CMO together can harness to drive the end goal for both of them. I think it's a great question. I think traditionally the legacy cloud has been used in some fairly point scenarios, and I think there have been some reservations about using the cloud. Robustness, security of data. For any business, their customers' data should be a core asset to them, and highly guarded, rightly so. The value really of cloud has been questioned as well in the past, historically. What does it really give us? Does it really make a difference? And what we're seeing is, in the new era of cloud, where robustness, scalability, security questions have been thoroughly addressed. And I think today, with what Oracle's doing with its cloud proposition, it's market leading, it's defining the standards for security, having an end-to-end stack available in the cloud from one vendor gives absolute reassurance that we can really understand and test and be clear that any security points are absolutely battened down. But more to the point, I think it's about the business value of the cloud, which is driving this transformation. I think organizations are much better now at understanding why the cloud offers value. Speed to market, agility, total cost of ownership, and in marketing in particular, being right within an ecosystem of other cloud-based applications that marketers need to use. More and more, the channel is the cloud. You think about where Facebook sits. Where does Twitter sit? Where does LinkedIn sit? They're in the cloud. So we need to take advantage of the speed and the way in which the cloud works. Marketers can't afford not to be there. And the CIO needs to help the marketer understand how that translates to integrating in with legacy on-premise investments where there's still some data. Does all that data need to go in the cloud? No, it doesn't. Often in marketing we're talking about business card data, which is a very important point to take on board. Okay, so I think, first of all, when thinking about cloud for their organization, they need to be clear to engage the business units, and obviously coming from a standpoint of marketing, engaging marketing on the real business value for cloud for the organization. How being in the cloud for marketing, how is that going to help us drive revenue? Ask marketing for the data points that are going to validate how being in the cloud is going to reduce cost, drive agility and efficiencies in the way in which marketing execute, help us identify how we can generate more revenue. So engage with the marketing department to drive out what those business value points are. I think that's a very important point that any business should be focusing on and collaboratively working together to do. Other best practices, I think, to look to what the market's doing in their area and understand, again referencing marketing, what are other organizations doing with the cloud? How are they using it? In what way are they using it? Learn from how other organizations, maybe in different industry sectors, are taking advantage of the cloud and deploying it. I think third is to turn to industry experts, people like Oracle, where we can talk about the cloud, we can address concerns. Some organizations may be more concerned about data residency, other organizations may be more concerned about security. Other organizations may be more focused on total cost of ownership. There are many different aspects, but to engage a specialist like Oracle who really understands the market to really help find what are the key compelling points for that particular organization. And I think finally probably I think I can resettle on 3. Yeah, I think one of the big transformations that we've seen, and again talking from a marketing standpoint, being a cloud vendor, is we work on a subscription basis. Okay, so when you buy a subscription to the marketing cloud, you may sign up for 2 or 3 years, but at the end of that term, there's a decision point. Should I carry on, or should I try another vendor? And the barriers to change are very different to the legacy traditional on-premise, where you invest a lot more upfront, you integrate deeply, and that creates a natural barrier around change, which is a good thing for a vendor like Oracle, and should be a good thing to the customer too, but it does mean you're relatively wedded to that solution. In the cloud world, customers can be a little bit more agile if they don't feel they're getting the right levels of support. If they don't really feel that they understand the value they're getting from the solution, they can change. The decision is very much with the customer. So what's the impact of that on an organization like Oracle? Well, of course, we want to make sure that our customers are successful. And in Marketing Cloud, I think, I believe actually that we've got one of the most successful customer success programs in the industry. We recently won an award for our customer advocacy program, which is for us all about engaging and understanding our customers and really helping them drive success. We run an awards program ourselves for our own customers, and we actively engage our customers, and we invest time in sitting down with our customers and making sure that they're using the technology correctly, they're following best practice, they're able to demonstrate back to their own business success. We help them. We say, hey, let's sit down and map that out. Are you doing it right? If you're not, let's help you. And why do we do that? Because we want them to be successful. We need them to be successful because that's our recurring business model. So I think there is a lot of change and transformation going on, which is all good for the customer, and we're delighted to be a part of that.
Thank you, Will. It's a pleasure.
Pleasure all mine. I hope I didn't talk on too much.
No, not at all. It's good. I want to know, you have any case studies available around Marketing Cloud?
A lot. Yeah, a lot.
Can you share some case studies?
It's one thing that we've always been, and I genuinely mean it, very focused on customer success. Partly because, if I'm honest, partly because we want to prove to the marketplace that this is technology they should buy. Look at these guys, they've all made more money, saved money. These are good case studies. But also the other really real driver is we need to help customers prove to their own business that it's worth keeping it. You know, you buy it, you use it for a year, your boss comes in, so what value did you get? You can't answer, you can't tell them. If there's pressure on budgets, okay, switch it off.